Yo, what's up, boys? I had a few people ask about my paint setup and what I use and all that, so I thought I could make a quick video before I spray this door. I'm just doing single stage yellow on this, and I'm just gonna like tarp the car and just shoot it. So I gotta sand out my infamous runs from like last year. So yeah, give you guys a quick walk around and I guess a walkthrough of my whole paint setup. Should be pretty quick. My baby. It's quite a mess back here right now. I got a bunch of wheels to sort. I had to move over some door locks. Here's the gutted boy. So, Heart of the Beast. I have this giant DeWalt 2-stage. This is all the goodies for it. I wish I really knew what I was talking about, but I don't. I just know that all these requirements are pretty much what you want for painting. And for anyone who's interested in Googling, that's the model number right there. It's pretty quiet. I do have it in this back room and I usually have this door closed. But yeah, it's pretty straightforward. I mean, I've had no issues with it. I got it through Air Compressors Direct, I believe. And it was kind of on sale and they just drop it off. I meant to go around and bolt it. I also meant to mark to see if it's even been moving, but I have these pads that really help. And then I was gonna do the bolts and everything, but it seemed just sturdy enough and doesn't really move around. So it's been just chilling. So this is in the back of the house. I have all the valving and this is a big boy voltage. So Ian came over a few months ago and we went ahead and reused some conduit that we had sitting around that ran to like some other outlets and got that all set up. So I have the quick shut off valve. Then I have, this is just some random Duralast rubber hosing that I have that just runs up. So I have that run across into the garage now. And then try to make it real nice right here with these little clips. And then we have this water catcher that I got at Wesco. It's got a pressure regulator on it, which locks. So I usually leave this like 100 PSI to this thing. And it has a vent, so here you can see how much water we're catching. So this thing does pretty good, and I think you can pop out the filters, but I haven't done that yet. Then we got another short hose that then runs up to this sweet ass reel, which then is, you know, my supply for the gun. So this thing's been pretty dope. Recently, this is kind of a new addition, this Husky quick release. I really like it because when you have it hooked up, one, you don't have to do like little pullback, but to release, you can just, you know, now you have no air. I don't know. I like it. So next up, I got, this is just a mount that I got at Harbor Freight for putting the gun when it has a cup on it. Also, check this out. This is all the black paint that we didn't get to use because we don't know what we're doing. Ugh, it's still sticky. It won't come out. Pretty cool. Yeah, so this is the gun I have, Warwick 881H. It's pretty dirty right now because I'm very bad at cleaning it. I do clean the inside, but the outside usually gets pretty beat. It's a 1.3 tip. It's like an entry-level gun that I just got at Wesco, and I think it was like $100. I am thinking about upgrading, but you know, this lays down perfectly fine. You know, I sprayed the whole car with this thing outside, or more or less. It gets, you know, a fine finish for depending on the prep job you do. You know, I didn't block sand any of this. I don't know if you guys can see the orange peel in the quarters. And I also didn't block sand that. But then if we come over to the fender, so you know, depending on the amount of prep they put into it, that is what is gonna reflect in your results. You know, you could have a baller ass gun, but if you're, one, don't know what you're doing, two, don't prep properly, or do, you know, good block sanding, then it doesn't matter. You can see where I pulled a run out of the tape. But yeah, luckily the yellow is very flashy and you can't see too much shit. So yeah, this is the gun. Like I said, I have a regulator on it, just like a standard regulator that I got from Wesco as well. And then I put a filter on there, and that's pretty much it. Pretty straightforward. I mean, pretty basic setup. I did used to spray primer. This is a Harbor Freight gun. I used to spray all my primer with this, and I really had no issue. This was a 1.4 tip, but if you don't clean those instantly, they gunk up, and I had an issue with this. You can see it's kind of rounded off. I literally couldn't get that thing off, so I would just I'd run lacquer thinner through it, and then just use it again until it clogged up too much. So, oh, you know, to show you, I guess all the product or all the paint product that I use. This is more or less the paint shelf. We have all our sandpapers, blocks, sanders. Do not recommend ever getting this one. This one's ass. This DeWalt one is fantastic. This one just isn't random orbiting. It's just spins. Here's a bunch of our sandpaper that I was experimenting with at one point. The Harbor Freight stuff, I honestly really liked. This 220 stuff lasted pretty long. The Home Depot Diablo stuff I really liked as well, and you could get it in 320. Also, I tried some Amazon stuff. This is 220 grit, but I don't know. It seems like it just dies off too fast. So this 220 stuff just died off pretty quick. I'll probably use it on this door just to run through it. And then we got a bunch of paints down here, just leftover stuff. The pure white from Naomi's and whole bunch of stuff. The primer I normally use is this Euro primer. I've had really no issues with it, and I don't know, I think it's like the budget stuff that I've been getting at Wesco. Travis recommended, so that's pretty much what I've been getting. A lot of the Euro stuff I've been using, all my activators, and then we got some other stuff for like the single stage. This is all Omni. Usually all my paints are all the paints that I spray are just, you know, the cheapest Omni I can get, which is a love-hate relationship. The clear coat that I recommend, I've also have little experience, is not this one. This one kind of dulls out, but this clear has been super shiny. And for the yellow car, I've never buffed it. Same when it was purple, never buffed it, and you just wash it and it looks shiny, and it's like super thick. So I don't know. So yeah, that's pretty much all the painting stuff, you know. It's pretty straightforward. So yeah, I don't know. I got into it because I didn't wanna, kind of like how I get into a lot of things, is I don't want to pay anyone, because I just think that if I could pay someone else, then I could probably learn how to do it myself. So I was on the fence about it for a while on if I wanted to learn how to paint, and I watched a bunch of YouTube videos, and I thought, you know, why not give it a shot? So when I first started, you know, this is what I used. This is what we painted the car purple with, and like this is what I did the flames with. I just recently upgraded this for the yellow, but this is what I use. It's like, I don't know, $100 for this, the line. So I did it all on a budget, and I just went ahead, bought a gun, and just started spraying. So if you're on the fence about, you know, learning how to paint, it can get stressful, and materials, I think, is the worst part, is the biggest cost. But if it's something, you know, you want to get into, just get into it. It's dope. Now, you know, I can paint my car every year, save myself a bunch of money on repairs like this. So I think it's a nice skill to have. So for anyone who's on the fence, I suggest you go for it. It's a fun time. Yep, that's my video on, you know, all my painting stuff, and I'll see if I document painting this door or not. It's gonna be my first time spraying with the single stage yellow. We'll see how much it matches. So, yep, thanks for watching, and yeah, adios. Ready to spray. Since we're just doing pretty much just this door and little things, I'm not too worried about like wetting the floor down or anything. If you guys have seen my Instagram before, I tried to do the whole no lights up front, and I did that for a final bout, and the event did not happen this year. So I kind of gave up on that, and then I went ahead and changed the color of the car, and since it was kind of a pain, or just a lot more things to paint, I didn't do it again. Also, I wouldn't have any lights. But since we're gonna trailer down to Super D, it'll be cool to do the whole front of the car yellow. This one, I had already started scraping the paint, so I'm gonna attempt to just dust primer on here and then shoot it again. This one still has all its paint on except for a little chip, so I went ahead and just Scotch-Brighted this, and I'm gonna go ahead and shoot it. We're doing the grill, I popped off this guy, so everything's prepped. I'm just gonna do a quick spray, and then luckily we're just doing the door, so I just do tarps over everything. I don't think paint should seep through this, but if I do get around to finishing today, I'll go ahead and pull everything off. And then I just masked the pillar, even though it's yellow and it also is covered up. I'm gonna go ahead and wipe everything down and spray it with some sealer.
A few moments later.
So I got pretty late. Not really late, but late enough to where I don't want to run that giant fan. It is 8:15 and the compressor's pretty loud, plus, you know, I just finished sealer, so, you know, probably another hour of spraying. Sealer went pretty well, pretty even. I made sure to thin it out quite a bit, because I don't know, I like the way it sprays when it's super thin. This run is actually from the clear previously, and I didn't sand it. I didn't want any of the paint to chip. But yeah, pretty even. Let it dry overnight. I have the handle out just so I can do referencing, because I'm worried it's the same yellow, the solar yellow, but it is, you know, in a single stage form. So I'm excited to see how that goes. I might try to reduce it a little less just so I can get good coverage. I'm hoping I can cover it in 2 coats. If not, we'll do a 3rd one. I just would rather not risk a run. But here's the door, pretty straight. Luckily, the old run is sanded out. Here are the markers, pretty smooth. And then the grill. I almost forgot to spin this thing around when I was spraying. And I also didn't pull off the gunk, but it doesn't matter because the badge will be there. That's pretty much it. That's all I got. I'll spray tomorrow and we'll see how that looks. Thanks for watching.